Thank you very much.
Good job, Mr. Haveland. Okay, I intend to close out audience participation. Anybody? Everybody okay with that? I think we've listened to this issue 2 meetings in a row. I think it's clear to the assembly members, so I will close out audience participation at this time. We're going to go to the consent agenda. Madam Clerk, please read.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Resolution 20-118, a resolution establishing date certain for payment, delinquency, protest, and appeal of 2021 regular assessment tax rolls, business inventory filing, and for the commencement of hearings before the Board of Equalization. Resolution 20-119, a resolution approving the scope of work and budget for Abbey Boulevard Railroad Crossing Major Upgrade, Repair and Upgrade Project, project number 30037. AM 20-120, approval of period of performance extension to contract number 19005P for the management of mitigation acquisition program to extend the completion date to July 31st, 2021. And AM 2134, acceptance of late filed retroactive senior citizen and disabled veteran exemption applications.
Assemblyman Bovee.
I move to approve the consent agenda as read into the record by the clerk.
Any objection? Mr. Yonk, Mr. Hale, any objection to the consent agenda?
No, sir. No objection, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. Consent agenda is approved with no objection. There's no unfinished business. There's no vetoes. Look at introductions on there. It should read like this. There are no introductions. However, there are 2 public hearings that were continued over from this meeting on December 15th. I believe it was 2, right? Vacancy report, Madam Clerk, or Madam Bovee.
I move to confirm the appointments requested by the mayor with terms to begin on January 1st, 2021 as follows. Local Emergency Planning Committee, Scott Bell. Port Commission, Ronald Tracy.
Okay. Any objection? Any discussion on the vacancy report? Any objection to approve the vacancy report as just read? Any objection, Mr. Yonk, Mr. Hale?
No, sir.
Okay.
No objection.
Okay, so the vacancy passes. There's no new business. There's no referrals. Reconsideration. I'm going to give the assembly members a chance to withdraw all your reconsiderations. Guys, on save time. I'm just kidding, Mr. McGee. Okay, Madam Clerk, do you read the ordinance?
Ordinance 20-025, an ordinance adopting MSB 17.68, outdoor shooting facilities in order to establish standards for commercial, educational, and nonprofit outdoor shooting facilities.
Senator McKee, do you have a motion for reconsideration?
I would like to speak to it.
No. Do you have a motion to reconsider?
I do have a motion to reconsider.
Okay, now we're going to talk about that, but then we're going to vote on whether or not the assembly wants to reconsider. Before we get into the rest.
Let's find out.
Okay, any objection to reconsidering? Ms. Nowers objects. Ms. Bovee objects. Any discussion? You just want to vote on it?
I got it before you. I would just say briefly that this has gone on a long time, and that I will note that Fairbanks has a similar regulation in place. In some ways, it's a little more restrictive than ours, and I think we've been through this enough. I am going to vote against reconsideration.
Okay. So the question's been called. So this is the procedure. You vote. Yes, if you want to have reconsideration. No, if you do not want to have reconsideration. Before we go, if it does pass, before we go to the merits, I have the right to veto reconsideration. So everybody be aware of it. Any objection to reconsideration? I guess Ms. Nowers is objecting. So Madam Clerk, conduct a vote on whether or not to reconsider.
Assemblymember Yunt.
Yes.
Assemblymember Hale.
No.
Mr. Mayor, the motion for reconsideration passes. It required only 4 votes. You have Summer 2 and McKee in favor.
Okay, I issue a veto. So the veto, the clerk, it has to be in writing, so the Clerk's gonna pass out the written veto, so you can read it, and then you gotta vote on it. If you wanna override, you move to override.
You're gonna read it, okay.
Are we ready? Reconsideration of ordinance 20025 having been timely filed and moved by Senator McKee and having passed by the Borough Assembly, which it just passed, I hereby veto reconsideration. Ordinance 20025 passed at the regular Assembly meeting on November 17, 2020. This ordinance drew a large participation of the public, both for and against. After substantial debate and dialogue by Assembly members, ordinance 20025 passed. Senator McKee's opposition to ordinance 20025 throughout the debate is undeniable. Senator McKee, however, voted yes in favor of the ordinance. This unusual vote does not go unnoticed by me. You know, the recent election results and confirmation times of the Assembly seats may have persuaded Mr. McKee to be mindful of that somewhat. I've always viewed Senator McKee as a straight talker, and I've witnessed his votes many times no votes, single-souled no votes, and I truly respect him for that. See an opportunity, however, is hard to deny in this instance. It is my preference, and this is the gist of this reconsideration for everybody out there in the audience. It is my preference that Assembly members vote their conscience at the time the clerk calls for the vote, and that was at the Assembly meeting on November 17, 2020. Voting yes was to gain reconsideration does not appeal to me. I therefore, with all due respect and humility, Senator McKee, veto this reconsideration. In addition, ordinance 20025 is not about the Second Amendment or gun rights. Many, if not most borough employees, including myself, have owned and fired guns our entire lives. But the simple fact is that the Matsu Borough has grown from 70,000 people in 2005, that's when I first came on the planning commission in the borough, to over 10,000 people today. And the borough is still one of the fastest growing municipalities in America, and certainly in Alaska. To stay stagnant or put our heads in the sand is not going to make the essential issue of population growth, competing lifestyles, and the need for security in one's own property go away. There is a need for more shooting ranges. It's as simple as that. The need to be safe and secure is a function of good government. So, but the reconsideration tonight that was made by Mr. McKee with the vote that wasn't really his true vote at the last Assembly meeting, that's what bothers me a little bit. And that's what this veto is about tonight. So now, you have a chance to move to override. McKee?
I move to override the mayor's veto. I'd like a vote on
You calling the question?
it. Yep. Go on.
Point of order.
Wait.
Mr. Mayor, I'm not sure that your veto is recognizable in this situation. The ordinance is not yet in effect because of the reconsideration, and so the effect of your veto would be to bring the ordinance into effect.
I am just following the Matsu Borough Attorney and the Madam Clerk, Lonnie McKechnie's recommendation. Mr. Sproutless, could you answer, Mr. Sumner?
Sure, Assembly members, Mr. Mayor, Assembly member Sumner, the state law provides that except for appropriations in a school budget ordinance, if the governing body sits at the Board of Equalization or the Board of Adjustment or the adoption of a repeal or manager plan of government, that the mayor may veto any ordinance, resolution, motion, or other action of the governing body and may strike and reduce appropriation items. So what's happened here is you've had a motion to reconsider, that motion has passed, and the mayor has vetoed that motion. State law clear, and it's the same in the Borough Code. It clearly gives the mayor the power to veto a motion as long as something else hasn't cut it off. such as consideration of the issue of the merger.
So, Mr. McKee, Senator McKee, has a motion to override. That's the issue.
That's the issue. And I call a question on it right now.
So, please, Madam Clerk.
If you support the mayor's veto, you need to vote no. If you oppose the veto, you need to vote yes.
One more time, please.
If you support the mayor's veto, then you vote no. If you oppose the veto, you need to vote yes.
So, go ahead and vote.
Assemblymember Hale, this is on to override the mayor's veto.
No.
Assemblymember Yunt,
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, the motion to override the veto failed and required 5 votes.
Okay. AM 120-123, reconsideration, Madam Clerk. Okay.
Thank you for your patience. The next one we have is AM 2123, approval of change order 3 to contract number 20-001P with Bezic Durst Sizer Incorporated in the amount of $558,848 to change the scope of work to allow design, repair, and reconstruction of the Houston Middle School Gymnasium Wing, project number 55026.
Senator McKee, do you have a motion to reconsider?
I move the motion for reconsideration as read by the clerk. And I would like to speak to it.
Okay, we're gonna, same procedure as the last one. We're gonna vote on whether or not the Assembly wants to reconsider.
Yes. Okay. Go ahead.
So, any discussion about that issue, or do you want to just vote on that? Let's vote on that right now. Any objection to reconsideration? Ms. Bovee objects, so Madam Clerk.
Assemblymember Hale, this is on the vote to reconsider AM 20-123.
No.
Assemblymember Yunt,
No.
Mr. Mayor, it passed with Assemblymembers Nauer and Bovee opposed. Oh, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. No, it failed, excuse me.
So the reconsideration failed.
Yes.
So no reconsideration, AM 2123 doesn't fail to vote on reconsideration. Okay, let me do that.
I'm ready, Mr. Mayor.
AM 2125.
All right, for all you guys that are really confused about what just happened here, the motion to reconsider on that vote had passed through the Assembly. And then the Mayor, Vern Halter, decided to exercise his veto right and vetoed the override for the consideration. And then they re-voted again and needed to have 5 votes to be able to get it to pass, override his veto to get it back into reconsideration again. And they only got 4, so they did not have enough votes to get it to happen. So the new gun ordinance that they have passed here in the valley, the last Assembly meeting, is now officially in place. Sorry to give you guys all the bad news here. And so the gun ordinance is in place because of a bunch of Karens in a personal neighborhood that has got upset about this with overwhelming testimony against having this ordinance passed by the public, and time and time again, with just a small handful in comparison that were for it, But because a bunch of Karens in one particular neighborhood, the entire Matanuska Valley now has to pay the cost for this ordinance. And by the way, anything over 90 decibels is not allowed. So a riding mower in your own yard is too much noise under this new ordinance that just got passed. Sorry to give you guys all the bad news. Don't forget to like and share this video. The last few minutes here was the worst part of everything. I will do something about combining the gun range testimonies and this last part together here and upload it by tomorrow, so that you can watch through just that part of it. Don't forget to go to my website, Politadick.com, and click that donate button. Every penny goes right back into making sure I can make more of these so that I can keep you guys informed and up to date what's going on. Thanks for tuning in tonight. Ted, masks aren't until Friday. That is the City of Palmer City Council. The City Council that is doing that in Palmer. That has nothing to do with the mayor, the assembly here. That has everything to do with the mayor of Palmer. So that has nothing to do with the City of Palmer. This is a Matanuska Valley. This is the entire Matanuska Valley was what this ordinance is for. The mask mandate they're trying to pass only affects Palmer. That begins Friday at 4 p.m. I plan on being there to live stream that. All right, thank you all for tuning in today. Don't forget to like and share, go to my website, donate. Every penny helps me make more of these. Thanks a lot. Have a great evening.
Miss Branscombe used to wrestle with me at Colony.
In our neighborhood, there was a Crane Road and Purdue Loop, the gunfire that has increased up there.
But people are gonna shoot wherever now. The fireworks are worse. Why don't we stop the fireworks? That one was wrong. I almost laughed at her and went, oh.